Hey guys, it's Gerard.
This is Mikey.
This is Ray.
And this is Frank.
We're My Chemical Romance, and this is our celebrity podcast. We're going to be playing you some songs today.
All right, this next song we're gonna play for you is by one of my favorite band of the '90s, Lush. They never really got the attention they deserved in America.
Yeah.
But Split is such a big album. I know for me and Gerard.
Yeah, I remember getting the cassette in the
cassette.
Village in New York City, I think like the week it came out, and then we just listened to it for a whole summer.
Blown away. Yeah. The track we're gonna play for you is a song called Undertow. It's one of the later tracks on Split, and it's just like, I think it kind of showcases what the band does best. It's like those piercing harmonies and those really sinister guitar lines, but then just kind of it still somehow sounds sweet.
All right, so the next song we're going to play is by a band called Las Vegas. This was probably my favorite record that came out in 2009, right? Is that what
it was? Yeah.
I think it was.
I remember Sean Simon, a friend of ours, texting me one day and was like, "You have to get this record, Las Vegas." And
that's right.
Yeah, and then I think we all got it around the same time. We're like, "Oh my god, this
it was
is
my
so
favorite
good."
of that year.
Yeah, best record of the year to me.
It's pretty much all I listened to that year.
Yeah. It's obviously a really dark album, but really beautiful. Starts off with this song called "Flowers and Football Tops," which I think is it's probably my favorite song off the record.
It's the one I listen to the most, I think.
Yeah. It introduces you to the Las Vegas sound, which is the shimmering wall of guitars that come in.
Here's a minute of it before it actually kicks into the song. It's just a minute of getting acquainted with that sound.
Mm-hmm. And you become acquainted with him, and then his amazing accent and amazing singing and the drum beats and everything and the bass playing, all of it's great. And then you get this bit at the end where he's singing, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine," probably the darkest moment on a record ever.
Yeah, it's so sad and so powerful at the same time.
Yeah. So there's Las Vegas with Flowers and Football Tops.
Very nice.
All right.
Cool.
Right on, right?
So this is Queen's Stone Cold Crazy. The first time I heard this song, it was actually a Metallica cover version that I had heard of it. And I fell in love with the song. And I started kind of researching where the song came from in the cover. And I heard the original version, Queen's original, and it's kind of mind-blowing. I think it's really exciting. A lot of people know Queen as kind of more like epic, piano-driven, grandiose rock. And, the first time I heard Stone Cold Crazy, I was kind of blown away because it has so much punk energy. It's unbelievable. Also, Brian May is one of my favorite guitar players. Most of his solos and guitar work is very orchestrated and symphonic. And on this song, you just literally just hear him shredding. It's pretty crazy that he was doing this, back then. He just kills it. It's an insane guitar song. One of my favorites. Here it is, Stone Cold Crazy.
Next song we're going to play for you is Black Flag, Nervous Breakdown. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. It's the original lineup with Keith Morris on vocals. And I guess one of the cool correlation story things that go along with it is when we were recording Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge out in L.A., Mikey and I were at I think it was that mobile station, right? Is that on Cahuenga or whatever?
Yeah.
And we had met Keith out in New York when he was he was at CMJ.
He was at CMJ,
and he had seen our set and really liked it and came up and said hi and stuff. And I was totally shocked to meet him then. But when I saw him, ran into him actually in the convenience store, the mobile. I cornered him and was like, I need to hang out with you. We need to hang out. You need to come and sing on our record because we're recording out here. And he agreed. I think probably just to kind of get me away from him.
Yeah.
Gave me his number.
All he wanted was some Chinese food, remember?
That's all he took, yeah.
He's so
That's
awesome.
what we did, man. We ordered a ton of Chinese food. And he told jokes and screamed and was on the record. And I think he was on Hang 'em High.
Yeah. He's an amazing individual.
Amazing
huge
dude.
Inspiration. I actually then ran into him, I think a couple, when I first moved to LA, I ran into him at a restaurant called Home. He was just hanging out, having a coffee.
Just good vibes.
Good vibes.
Always got a great story. And subsequently, actually, the last song I just bought on iTunes was his new band, Off. Just came out with a new single, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
So, listen to this and then go buy that. So, this is Black Flag, Nervous Breakdown, one of their best songs of all time.
Blur, the Universal. This is probably my favorite Blur song. It's it kind of goes against some of the archetypes of a Blur song. It's a very like huge sweeping orchestral number, and the video, like the visuals were just like it was like a play on A Clockwork Orange, which was super important movie.
It's off Great Escape
Yeah,
too.
it's off Great Escape, yeah.
A lot of people think a lot of people's opinion is Park Life is their favorite Blur album.
Yeah.
I think Great Escape is my favorite Blur album, and for reasons like this song. Like, it is so different from anything else on the record. It's I just love it. It makes you so emotional. I remember being at Roseland Ballroom in New York City with Sean Hines, and they played this song live, and just like people just weeping.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
just
See, that's hard to do because Roseland, nothing sounds good
nothing
at Roseland.
sounds good at Roseland. Everybody unanimously was
Sorry,
saying that.
Roseland,
Oh yeah,
but
wait,
yeah.
yeah, we're about to play there, so we'll sound great, but that's what you're told. I don't know. Every show
Maybe
I
it
saw
does
at
sound
Roseland, I thought it sounded great. It wasn't until somebody told me it sounded bad
Right,
years
and then it's
later.
in your head,
yeah.
But I remember that show was really magical. They had come out, and they were still underground in America, and just he came out, just started playing the keyboard, and I love Blur, I love Damon, I love this song.
Dude, I remember when they did, I think it was like one of those award shows, and they brought the orchestra out. It was just so awesome. And so here you go, Blur, the Universal.
The Chemical Brothers, Leave Home. Around I guess a lot of stuff me and Mikey are picking are from this era of the 90s that I guess we were discovering things like Britpop. We
Yeah,
were,
like the mid-90s, like 94,
yeah,
93, 94.
shoegaze, all that stuff. We were just discovering it all. And the Chemical Brothers, though, were a very interesting band to come out of this period. It was actually kind of like when grunge was in full force. But in America, I guess kids like me and Mikey were listening to the Chemical Brothers. And my favorite track off the record is still, off Exit Planet Dust, is still the first track, and it's Leave Home. Everything about the artwork,
Classic, so classic.
everything, the beats on this record are phenomenal. Their videos were incredible because they're not a traditional band, so they would just have to do these weird things like, was it Francis Ford Coppola's daughter in one of them doing ribbon dancing or something?
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah, they
Insane
always thought
stuff.
outside the box.
Yeah.
They always thought outside the box.
Yeah, and the sentiment of leaving home is very important to me and Mikey and the guys. And when we were recording Danger Days, I kept bringing Exit Planet Dust up, and when we were doing Sing in particular, I kept bringing this song up, and I wanted it to feel like anything off this record. So here's the Chemical Brothers with Leave Home.
This is Creedence Clearwater Revival's Traveling Band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. This song is amazing.
So
this is,
good,
so good.
what's great about this song too is, again, kind of along the lines of Queen's Stone Cold Crazy. For me, like, you get to hear CCR as a punk band.
Yeah.
Traveling Band just has so much fire, so much energy.
Amazing lyrics too.
Yeah.
State Militia. So much about it. It
Yeah.
makes me think of Tour every time.
Oh
I
yeah,
hear it.
absolutely. It's like like you hear the song, and you're like, oh, I want to go play a show right now. That's
And then
that's the
break
feeling.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I love the use of horns in there. There's horns in the back.
Oh, that's right, they're doing,
very
like,
low in the
accents,
mix.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're really great. And Fogerty's just like stretching, like ripping his chords out. Like vocal chords. It's great.
He's a fearless singer. Like
Yeah.
he's a guy that definitely would sing as if he didn't have a show the next day.
Yeah, it sounds like broken glass, man. So this is Creedence Clearwater Revival's Traveling Band.
Let's do this song's "Freedom" by Richie Havens. He's an amazing rhythm folk guitarist who my dad actually turned me on to. Took me to go see maybe 4 or 5 times, and I'll never forget. He's a great storyteller, and this song in particular is it just brings, of course, the song's called Freedom, but it brings up the idea of freedom, and I think how much that portrayed, was something that went through our new record. It's a song that he had written called Motherless Child, and of course he opened the original Woodstock Festival and ran out of songs because the next band was late, and he had no more material, and they're like, play one more song, and he was like, oh man, I got this one song kicking around that's not finished, and he started playing it, and then he just started singing the word, and he looked out and just saw freedom, so he just started singing that word over and over and over again, and it's, that's the epitome of freedom. Just go out there and play it,
Wow.
and play and sing what you see, and he's an amazing artist, an amazing talent, and I'll never forget every show that I've ever seen him play. he finishes and then waits at the door and shakes everyone's hand that came
Wow.
to see him.
That's amazing.
And it's just a great dude, and I love this song and I love him as an artist. So Richie Havens.
Morrissey, The Operation. This song comes off of one of my favorite Morrissey albums, Southpaw Grammar.
Yeah.
It came out in, was it like 96 or 97?
I think it's kind of my favorite. I think it's my favorite Morrissey
I listened
album.
to it so much, and
Yeah.
it's just like, I think it's a concept album.
It feels like one.
Feels like a concept album, because a lot of people say, you can't just listen to one song off it. You have to listen to the whole thing.
It's true. I mean, I remember getting it. The cover was weird.
Cover,
it was dark.
yeah.
There was this old photo, and then me and you went and saw him at
Central Park. And yeah, it was, it was always one of those things where Morrissey would plan to play Manhattan, and it would always get canceled. It happened for years.
Yeah.
So, we bought tickets there, like he's playing Central Park. I was like, I hope it actually happens,
Yeah.
And then just the crowd was just berserk.
Oh, the interesting thing to talk about this song too, it has like a 4-minute
Yeah.
drum solo.
4 minutes of drums in the beginning.
That's what starts the song.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy. You're just sitting there listening to this drummer just play for like 3.5 minutes, and then the song just kicks in out of nowhere. It's amazing.
I think he may have started the set with this
He did.
song.
He started the set with it. He'd fogged out the stage, and it had these colored strobes, so it looked like this nebula was coming out of the drums. Now I don't know how the drummer saw anything. Drummer's just playing this thing, and then he just played for minutes and minutes and minutes, and you just kept watching this drum solo, and then eventually Morrissey came out, and then boom, right into the song.
It was this magical night, and then I think the cops came and shut it down because there was too many people or something.
It was something like
but
that,
one of
yeah.
the best concerts I've ever been to. Morrissey's The Operation.
The Pixies. What do I want to play? I actually want to play Head On, even though it's not their song, and it's a Jesus and Mary Chain cover for a number of reasons. It's actually the song that got me into the Pixies, which is weird because it's not theirs. But I was watching 120 Minutes, and the host, he says, Pixies have a new... I'd already missed the boat on the Pixies. They just put out Trompe Le Monde, So they'd been out a while, but I was a kid, and then he proceeds to play this video where it's just them playing live in a room, and I think Frank Black just goes, "This is Jesus and Mary Chain song. It's called Head On," and the video was cut live, and so that version that's of the video,
They played it live.
yeah,
and they did it.
they played it live, and that's it. And so that version's not on the album. When you watch the video, it's them playing live together in a room, and it literally sounds like it's one take. Great camera work. They're just focused on different parts of like them playing the song. And then I remember we went to the mall, and I got the cassette of Trompe Le Monde.
Oh, I
and
remember that, yeah.
and it was like really crazy to process. I had no idea, and I would just like listen to Head On and repeat. And then eventually, I got into the other songs on the record, especially track 1, which I think's Alec Eiffel. No, track 1's that weird. It's got tapping on it. I remember when they were making this record, he said he wanted to make a heavy metal album, so it opens up
So
to
funny.
him tapping.
Wow, that's kind
or
of
maybe
interesting
it's
to think
Santiago.
about now.
Yeah,
He's going for a heavy metal
He
album.
he calls Trompe Le Monde a heavy
Wow.
metal album.
That's awesome.
It's pretty funny. And so then I discovered all of the Pixie songs. I was like, wow, their songs are like even better. And then, I remember Valoria was my favorite for a while. And yeah, I mean, you could
That
always.
song's so good.
Yeah, you could. And Weezer did a great version of that.
Dude, I love There Goes Your Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And the song Gigantic, yeah.
Yeah.
What a great band.
It's great. I
Oh,
think everything they do. And you go, oh, yeah. What I love about them, too, you always put them on, and nobody's ever going to be like, oh, can we listen to something else?
No, yeah, there's never a dissatisfaction in
Yeah.
the car ride.
So, Pixies, Head On.